In the whirlwind of modern life, it often feels like we're gasping for air, pulled under by stress, uncertainty, and the endless demands that never seem to stop. But what if I told you there's a way to stand still even as the storm rages, a path to calm, clarity, and control, one that's been tested for thousands of years? Picture this. No matter the pressure at work, personal conflicts, or life's unexpected blows, you stay grounded, unmoved, serene. This isn't wishful thinking. This is Stoicism, a philosophy that shows us how to master our emotions and navigate life with strength and grace. Today, we're not just talking about Stoicism. We're stepping into it. We'll explore 10 timeless principles that can completely transform how you face the chaos around you. These aren't abstract ideas or distant theories. They're daily tools. Mental armor. Weapons you can carry into every situation to build resilience, emotional control, and unshakable peace. Because life will test you. It may already be testing you through broken relationships, overwhelming responsibilities, or that quiet emptiness we sometimes feel even when everything seems fine. That's where Stoic wisdom steps in, offering clarity when everything else feels confusing. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you won't just know about Stoicism. You'll have the blueprint to cultivate calm confidence no matter what life throws your way. And if you find value in this, I ask for one simple favor. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you don't miss any part of this journey. Now, let's begin with one of the most overlooked keys to inner peace, having a firm purpose. Imagine you're in a boat, drifting in the middle of a vast ocean with no compass, no destination. Every wind, every wave pushes you in a new direction. That's life without purpose, aimless and vulnerable. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties show a person's character, and the greater the difficulty, the more glory in overcoming it." This isn't just a beautiful quote. It's an instruction manual. When you have a firm purpose, life's storms don't break you. They sharpen you. Purpose gives you direction. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. But here's the truth most people avoid. You don't just stumble into purpose. You build it, brick by brick, through uncomfortable, honest reflection. It requires asking yourself questions most people never dare to confront. What truly matters to me? What am I willing to suffer for? What kind of person do I want to become? Purpose is bigger than career ambitions or personal wins. It's about your values, the core principles you're willing to live by, even when life gets messy. Once you find it, something powerful happens. The world's noise fades, and even your biggest problems seem smaller, more manageable. This kind of clarity creates a deep, almost untouchable strength. A strength that doesn't depend on good days or lucky breaks, but grows stronger with every challenge you face. And make no mistake, this is a lifelong process. Your purpose may evolve. You may need to let go of old beliefs, shed familiar but limiting habits, and embrace uncomfortable truths. But each layer you peel back gets you closer to your true self, and closer to that unshakable inner peace Stoicism promises. Once you've discovered your purpose, once you've carved it deep into your heart, your next task is simple in words, but challenging in practice. Protect it, nurture it, feed it with unwavering diligence. This isn't about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Perseverance is what transforms purpose from a distant dream into a lived reality. Setbacks, failures, disappointments, they're not signs you've lost your way. They're part of the path. A firm purpose isn't some far-off destination you hope to reach one day. It's a guiding light, one that helps you navigate the unpredictable twists and turns of life with steady confidence. Think of it like a beacon cutting through the darkest night. When the winds howl and the waves rise, your purpose keeps you from capsizing. It's your lifeboat in a sea of emotions and uncertainty. This is the true power of Stoicism. It's not just a rule book. It's a profound understanding of willpower, resilience, and quiet determination. As Epictetus reminds us, true strength isn't found in controlling the world around us, but in our commitment to our purpose, no matter what stands in the way. When you see life through this lens, nothing is impossible. Your spirit becomes unshakable. So pause for a moment. Reflect deeply on your purpose. Write it down. Revisit it often. Let it become your anchor, your beacon, your North Star, guiding you through every storm life throws your way. But what about when people try to shake us? When someone offends us, insults us, or tests our patience? Our first instinct is often to strike back, to defend, to react. But this is where Stoicism offers one of its most powerful teachings. Our emotions are not automatic. They're the result of our thoughts, of how we interpret events. And here lies our greatest freedom, the ability to choose how we respond. Every time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you strengthen your mind. You build a powerful inner muscle, one that keeps you calm, composed, and in control. This isn't simply about self-control. It's about mind control, the art of mastering your thoughts and emotions through daily discipline. Start small, set achievable goals every day. Each tiny victory, no matter how minor, builds your confidence and reinforces your ability to command your mind. Focus on the present moment. Observe your emotions without becoming a slave to them. The more you realize that your reactions are a choice, the more resilient you become. You stop being pushed around by every challenge or setback. Instead, you move through life with grace and stability. Consider the story of a baker, someone who wakes up each morning, focused solely on perfecting their craft. They don't get lost in criticism or flattery. They're not distracted by what others think. Their only mission is to get better, to keep creating, keep refining. This single-minded focus is freedom, true freedom, and just like that baker, we must learn to guard our minds fiercely. Be mindful of what you allow into your mental space. You wouldn't let garbage into your home. Why allow it into your mind? Protect yourself from toxic influences, whether they come from people, media, or your own negative thought patterns. Surround yourself with ideas, people, and conversations that uplift and challenge you. Read books that expand your thinking. Engage with those who encourage growth. Create an environment where your mind can thrive, because Stoicism isn't some ancient relic. It's a toolkit for modern life. By mastering your emotions in your mind, you create peace even in a world filled with noise and volatility. This isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them deeply and choosing responses that align with your values and your purpose. One simple but powerful practice is mindfulness or meditation. These create a gap between stimulus and response, and in that gap lies your greatest power. The more you train your mind to observe without instantly reacting, the greater your control over your emotional world becomes. Another vital habit is adopting a growth mindset. View every challenge not as a threat, but as a chance to grow. When difficulty strikes, remind yourself, this is how I become stronger. This simple shift can completely transform your relationship with adversity, making you resilient, adaptive, and nearly impossible to break. Guarding your mind isn't a one-time decision. It's a lifelong discipline, choosing again and again to focus on what you can control, Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. It's rejecting the victim mindset and embracing your role as the creator of your own experience. The more you practice this discipline, the more natural it becomes. And soon you'll notice something extraordinary. The outside world loses its grip on your inner peace. Epictetus taught one of Stoicism's most liberating truths. We cannot control the opinions or actions of others, but we can control how we react to them. That means when someone criticizes you, insults you, or tries to shake your confidence, the real power lies in your hands. You decide how much impact their words will have. In today's world, where opinions are loud and often clashing, you're bound to face criticism, sometimes harsh, sometimes unfair. What matters isn't what others say, but how you process it. This is where self-awareness becomes your greatest armor. When you understand yourself deeply, when your motivations, values, and actions are aligned, criticism begins to lose its sting. You're no longer rattled by every passing opinion because you know who you are and what you stand for. When criticism comes your way, resist the instinct to react defensively. Pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, is there any truth here? Even harsh feedback can hide a valuable lesson. You don't have to accept all criticism as gospel, but being open to learning from it shows maturity and strength. Stoicism also emphasizes patience and gentleness in dealing with criticism. Patience allows you to stay composed, while gentleness helps preserve relationships, even when disagreements arise. Think of the saints, the ascetics, individuals who faced harsh words and attacks with calm grace, never veering from their chosen path. But patience alone isn't enough. You must also build resilience, a thicker skin, not to become indifferent, but to separate your self-worth from others' judgments. Often, criticism says more about the critic than about you. Their insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings may be at play. Recognizing this helps you depersonalize the attack. You always have a choice. Just because someone criticizes you doesn't mean their judgment defines you. Take what's useful, discard the rest. This selective filter keeps you grounded and growing, while shielding you from unnecessary negativity. Sometimes the healthiest approach is dialogue. If criticism comes from someone close, a friend, family member, partner, engage in calm, honest conversation. Seek clarification. Share your perspective. This builds understanding and strengthens relationships built on mutual respect. And as you handle criticism with grace and poise, others will notice. You become a living example of emotional intelligence. Someone who doesn't crumble under judgment, but grows stronger from it. You become quietly a role model for resilience. Epictetus put it simply, what frightens and dismays us is not the events themselves, but how we think about them. Offense works the same way. It's not the words or actions themselves that hurt, it's our interpretation of them, and interpretations can be changed. Transforming offense isn't about pretending you're never hurt. Of course, emotions arise, anger, sadness, disappointment. But Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge these emotions without letting them hijack our behavior. Between stimulus and response lies a precious gap, and in that gap is your power. One effective technique is cognitive reframing. When offended, challenge yourself to see the situation differently. What can I learn from this? You don't have to agree with the offender, but you might extract insight, or at the very least, affirm your own values even more strongly. If a friend questions your choices instead of reacting with anger, consider whether their words offer any perspective, or simply serve as a mirror reflecting your own conviction. Either way, you win, through growth or self-affirmation. Stoicism also calls for empathy. When someone offends you, ask, what might they be going through? Often people lash out from their own pain, insecurities, or blind spots. Empathy doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it allows you to respond with compassion, not bitterness. Then there's forgiveness, perhaps Stoicism's most liberating practice. Holding on to offense is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness frees you from that burden. It's not about forgetting or condoning, but about releasing its grip over your peace. Every offense, every insult, every emotional wound is a training ground for your resilience. Like lifting weights, the more you practice transforming offense, the stronger your emotional muscles grow, until eventually very little can disturb your inner calm. And remember, this is a lifelong practice. You won't master it overnight, but each time you rise above an offense, you reinforce the habit, making it easier and more natural the next time. Epictetus revealed a deeper truth. We are the ones who assign meaning to events, thus creating fear and shame within our souls. These emotions aren't born from the events themselves, but from how we perceive them, and perception can be reshaped. Fear often stems from the unknown, the worst-case scenario playing in our minds. Stoicism teaches us to face fear directly. Break it down, analyze it, ask, what exactly am I afraid of? Often, the more you dissect fear, the smaller and more manageable it becomes. Take public speaking, for example. Fear often comes from worrying about judgment or mistakes. But when you realize that every speaker fumbles occasionally, and the audience is there to listen, not destroy you, the fear weakens. Preparation chips away at the anxiety, and each experience builds confidence. Shame, too, can feel like a heavy chain, often tied to past mistakes or societal expectations. Stoicism teaches us to meet shame with courage and self-compassion. Mistakes don't define you, they educate you. Instead of letting shame fester, confront it. Ask, why did this happen? What can I learn? This transforms shame into a tool for growth rather than a permanent scar. An essential piece of this process is self-forgiveness. Holding on to shame only prolongs suffering. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean excusing your actions. It means accepting, learning, and then letting go. That's how healing begins. Start small. Gradually expose yourself to situations that trigger fear and shame. Each time, reflect, learn, and allow the emotions to loosen their grip. Over time, what once terrified you becomes something you can face with calm and strength. And finally, remember, you don't have to face this alone. Stoicism values community. Talk to trusted friends, mentors, or guides. Share your fears and shame. Often you'll discover that others have walked similar paths, and their wisdom can help light your own. Epictetus taught us one of Stoicism's most practical mental exercises: to foresee potential difficulties before they happen, not out of pessimism, but out of preparation. When we anticipate obstacles, we aren't blindsided when they appear. We've already rehearsed our response. This technique is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. You simply take time to visualize potential challenges and imagine how you would handle them. Before an important meeting, for example, you might picture technical failures, unexpected questions, or even personal nervousness. By mentally rehearsing these outcomes, you train yourself to stay composed, adaptable, and effective under pressure. The point isn't to obsess over worst-case scenarios, but to fortify yourself for reality. Life rarely follows our scripts. The more you anticipate, the less fragile you become. Anticipating obstacles also means embracing flexibility. Rigid expectations are dangerous. When we demand that life unfold a certain way, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we accept that plans might shift and prepare to adjust, we remain stable no matter how things unfold. At the same time, it's crucial to balance this realism with confidence. Acknowledge your skills, your strengths, your support systems. Preparation isn't about anxiety. It's about building calm confidence in your ability to adapt. This mindset fosters patience and perseverance. If you know in advance that the road will be bumpy, you're less likely to give up when setbacks arrive. You cultivate long-term resilience, a core Stoic strength. Reflection sharpens this skill even further. Look back on your past. What challenges did you face? How did you handle them? What worked? What didn't? With each reflection, you refine your ability to anticipate future obstacles. Mindfulness also plays a key role here. When you're fully present, you catch problems early and respond thoughtfully. Mindfulness enhances emotional regulation, ensuring that even when surprises strike, your center holds steady. Epictetus distilled all of this into one sentence. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That's the essence of inner strength, not controlling the external world, but mastering your inner world. When adversity strikes, harsh words, betrayal, failure, you still own one thing: your response. This choice defines who you are. Inner strength starts with self-awareness. It means recognizing your emotions as they arise without letting them hijack your behavior. You don't suppress emotions. You observe them, understand them, and choose how to act. Stoicism constantly returns to the distinction between what we control and what we don't. We can't control others' actions, but we can control our mindset, our character, our choices. This distinction protects your peace and focuses your energy where it matters. Forgiveness is also a vital expression of inner strength. Carrying grudges only poisons your own mind. Forgiveness doesn't excuse wrongdoing. It releases you from bitterness. You clear the emotional clutter, making room for clarity and growth. Resilience grows with practice. Life will knock you down. The key is to view each setback as a training opportunity. Every failure strengthens your character, just as muscles strengthen under resistance. But Stoicism doesn't advocate isolation. Surround yourself with people who challenge and support you. Build a community of like-minded individuals, mentors, and friends. Draw strength from these connections. And if you have a spiritual practice, lean on it for guidance. Gratitude, too, is a quiet but powerful tool. Gratitude reorients your mind from scarcity to abundance. Even in difficult seasons, there is always something to appreciate. This practice strengthens your emotional resilience and grounds you in contentment. True inner strength also requires vulnerability. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's facing your fears with honesty and compassion. When you confront your insecurities directly, they lose their power. You convert them into wisdom. And this all returns to one of Stoicism's most powerful habits: the pause, creating space between stimulus and response. You're stuck in traffic. Someone cuts you off. The first surge is anger, but the pause lets you ask, will reacting improve anything? Usually no. By choosing calm, you remain master of yourself, not a prisoner of your impulses. Restraint applies to more than traffic. In conflict, in conversation, in argument, impulsive words often cause damage we later regret. Before speaking, ask, are these words constructive? Do they reflect my values? Thoughtful speech strengthens relationships, while reactive speech weakens them. Restraint is self-mastery in action. It's choosing reason over impulse. Imagine you're making a major decision at work. Rather than reacting emotionally, you gather facts, weigh options, and act according to principle. That is the Stoic way. Restraint doesn't mean passivity. It means intentional action, acting with purpose, knowing that every choice carries consequences. Daily reflection sharpens this skill. Review your day. Where did you practice restraint? Where did impulse get the better of you? What can you improve tomorrow? Over time, this reflection strengthens your discipline. Mindfulness complements this beautifully. Through meditation, breathing, or simple awareness, mindfulness trains you to catch impulses before they take control. You spot emotional urges as they rise and choose a better response. At the core of Stoic action is acceptance. Accept reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Fighting reality only wastes energy and creates suffering. You lose your job. It's natural to feel fear or sadness. But once you accept the facts, you can focus on what's next. Update your resume, network, apply for new opportunities. Acceptance shifts you from helplessness to agency. Mindfulness and meditation cultivate this acceptance. They teach you to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to meet each moment as it comes. This creates stability and resilience even amid life's uncertainties. Acceptance isn't defeat, it's strength. Every challenge carries lessons. Ask, what can I learn? How can this make me stronger? Adversity becomes fuel for growth. Acceptance also frees you from perfectionism, that toxic chase for flawless outcomes. Striving for excellence is good. Expecting perfection is destructive. When you embrace your imperfections with compassion, you live with greater peace and authenticity. Gratitude again serves as your anchor. Even in tough times, gratitude reveals abundance. You focus on what you have, not what you lack, which strengthens your resilience. Acceptance extends to your relationships as well. We often expect others to behave as we want, but people have their own paths. Accepting others, their strengths and flaws, allows for healthier, more harmonious connections. Epictetus and the Stoics called this living according to nature. It means aligning your life with your rational and social nature, living authentically and ethically. This begins with self-awareness, knowing your values, your purpose, your true self. From that clarity, you make choices that reflect your principles, not the pressures of society or passing trends. Living according to nature also means embracing life cycles, growth, stability, decline, renewal. When you accept these natural shifts, you navigate life with grace and patience. At the heart of Stoicism are the cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom grants clarity, courage enables action, justice ensures fairness, temperance maintains balance. When you cultivate these virtues, you live in harmony with your higher nature. But Stoicism also recognizes that we are social beings. We thrive through compassion, empathy, and cooperation. When we serve others, build community, and foster goodwill, we honor our social nature and contribute to a better world. Living simply is part of this path. Strip away excess. Prioritize what truly matters: your growth, your relationships, your purpose. Simplicity creates space for what brings true joy and fulfillment. Acceptance, gratitude, and mindfulness complete this harmony. Accept life's flow. Appreciate what you have. Stay present. Act with intention. This is how you live according to nature, in balance with yourself, others, and the world. Even our environment calls for this awareness. As part of nature, we have a responsibility to protect it, to live sustainably and respectfully, preserving its beauty for future generations. Ultimately, living according to nature means returning to what truly matters: self-mastery, wisdom, connection, and purpose. And as we reach the end of this journey, remember this: true power is not found in controlling the world around you, but in mastering your own mind, your own choices, your own actions. That is the Stoic way. Thank you for watching Life Lessons. If this video brought you value, make sure to check out the next video right here. You'll love it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay strong, stay grounded, and let's keep learning together.